What is good, YouTube? It's your boy Magnificent coming back with another sneaker review. And today we're going to talk about the Jordan IE Lows, aka the International Exclusive. That's what the whole IE stands for. I want to talk a little bit about the shoe because I think some people may or may not know why Tinker Hatfield decided to go from the regular Jordan 11 Lows that we're accustomed to seeing to the IE Lows, which first debuted, I think it was back in 2011. So, before we get into the shoe, before we do an unboxing, I will do it on feet, but for the first time on my channel, quite frankly on anybody's channel, I think, I'm going to do what's called a Superzoom. Superzoom close exclusive on these shoes. So what that, basically I'm trying to tell you is that I have a macro lens on my camera on the phone, and what I'm going to be capable of doing is seeing the shoe enhanced by 15 times, just magnified. So you can really see the true features of the shoe. You can see from the stitching, close-up stitching, certain variations of the shoe that you may not be able to see from the naked eye, just enhanced. So it's the first time I'm trying this. You know, it's going to be like a separate segment outside of me talking about the shoe, like a separate video towards the end. Then we'll do the on feet, and then we'll end it off and go from there. So, with that said and done, let's just get straight into the Jordan 11 Low IE, again, international exclusive version. So, let's see what I'm getting myself into. Shout out to sneakers again. Nike. You've blessed me with so many W's that I really don't care about the box anymore. So, appreciate it. Let's get into this. And you've probably seen one, you've seen them all. Nike receipt. And we can get rid of that box. There you go. Now, before I know you've seen the Jordan box on every single channel. We've seen it, I've seen it, your mom's seen it, your cousin's seen it, your baby mom has seen it. But this box is a little bit different from the other Jordan boxes that we're accustomed to seeing. Yep, I know you see it. Right there. Not the size 12.5. The QR code. Now, I did a video on my channel that I'll kind of link to after this video. That shows you what that RFID kind of chip looks like. I basically just took this entire sticker off so you can see what's behind it. And basically, it gives you an idea if you're looking at a fake shoe or a real shoe. And it's kind of embedded in there. You probably won't even see it until you peel this off, and then you can see it that it's kind of like stuck on there, kind of super glued on there. But, of course, again, you're accustomed to seeing this Jordan box, but you're not really accustomed to seeing this QR code that is on the box itself. So let's just get into the shoe, because I believe that same QR sticker or tag, what they call digital marking, is on the inside of the shoe. And I'll get to that during the super close zoom version of this video. But, of course, you got your black paper. Alright, now, this is what I expected. So, here's the story of, at least the summary. I'll bring out the other shoe. Here's the summary of the Jordan IE Lows. Now, what people don't realize is that Tinker Hatfield, we know Tinker Hatfield. For those that don't know, Tinker Hatfield is the designer behind the retro Jordans, at least the majority of them, the famous ones we know of. And he engineered these shoes to, most of them, some of them, to perfection. Here I have the Jordan 11 Iridescence. I think this released last year, Easter. It was like an Easter shoe. So the idea of transitioning from a shoe like this that we're accustomed to seeing, that we want to see so bad, Tinker Hatfield back in 2011 wanted to move away from that structure because he wanted breathability, airflow. So he wanted the shoe to feel like more of a summer shoe. versus a shoe that has the leather pad, but it feels kind of heavy even when you walk on it. So the idea behind the international exclusive, the IE version, is to have that breathability. Now, let's just talk about the shoe. We've seen it. You've probably seen it on most channels by now. White midsole. You still got that icy blue bottom. Concords on the pads. We all know that. On the mudguard is pretty much leather pad. You got the black mesh upper with the smooth leather on the toe box. Cool, 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 and cool. What people may not know, on the IE versions, and again, you'll see this on a Superzoom video, on the IE versions, it's basically just straight ventilation. So it's deemed as a summer shoe. It's a lighter shoe than the normal Jordan 11. This Jordan 11 IE is a lighter version than your standard Jordan 11 because Tinker Hatfield was looking for something that was more of a summer feel. It felt like, much like sandals, you put sandals on, it's light. That was the idea behind the engineering of the IE design. And like I said, there's a lot of vents on the side panels of the shoe. Like on the mudguard, if you're looking at the mudguard, specifically on the side panel, you'll notice that there's just nothing but ventilation. Now, it's not a see-through back here because the padding on the heel is actually pretty thick. It's pretty good. There's padding on the back, so you're not going to be able to see right through the back of the shoe. But on the side panels, it is very visible, and then you can see that. And also, it's visible towards the toe box right there. So if you were to wear the sneakers without socks, and you put your feet straight in, like on here, and it's hot and it's like, very humid, you wore it for a while, I'm pretty sure it's not going to smell as good as you think it is. And no disrespect to the people, even if you take care of your feet. Sometimes it can get a little, gets a little sweaty in there, right? So that's the whole point of breathability with the Jordan IEs. Like you could literally put your feet in here without any socks, not encouraging it, but you would still get airflow in the shoe. Now, here's where I think that a lot of people are straying away from the shoe. There was two things that I think that didn't make this shoe as successful as it could have been. The fact that this shoe, this same Jordan 11 Concord, I'm pretty sure no one, and I mean a lot of people, were not focused on this shoe because it was the same date that the Yeezy 350 Landmarks dropped. Everybody in their mind was trying to get that shoe, so I think a lot of attention. I think the timing for the shoe was a little bit bad. I don't think that this is a bad shoe, but I think a lot of people were looking more for a Jordan Space Jam that looked like this. Now, if they were to do a Space Jam low just like this would have to be a spring release versus a summer release. But again, these IE Jordans are more so for the summers. For the summertime, it's for you to feel good, to feel relaxed. The padding, I noticed, at least from what I read, let me just pull this out for a second. The padding is also different. What I mean by that is you go in the insole of the Jordan low. See if I can peel this off. The insole width between the low and your standard Jordan 11 is pretty much the same. I did over here. There you go. It's pretty much the same in width. Let me pull this out here so you can see it. The width you can see is pretty much the same. However, with the regular Jordans, Jordan lows, there's additional padding. Maybe I can actually put this on so you can see it. There's actual, you can probably see it right now. There's additional padding on the inside of the insole. So in addition to, turn this off. In addition to the cushioning that you have with the insole, you have additional cushioning on here. Now, the IE version, you got the insole, but it's not as soft, obviously, but you can probably see in there if you're looking. It's just not as good. Not as good. We're trying to get that in an angle, but there's nothing really separating. There's no additional cushioning, so it's going to feel harder, a little bit harder than your regular standard Jordans. But they did put additional cushioning on the heel of the shoe, so it's a little bit more cushioning on this versus this. That makes sense. So that is the reason why, and of course everybody just says the laces are thicker. You can see that there's a big difference between the lace. What am I thinking about? The lace length between this and this. Obviously this is a little bit more thinner. But again, that's what Tinker Hatfield was aiming for. It's the whole idea, the rendition from here to here, or transition from here to here, was to literally make this shoe lighter than this. That is the reason why they came out with the IE version. Now, here's my opinion. I don't think that this shoe is bad, but I get why people don't like it. It's not something that they're accustomed to seeing. The Jordan lows, the regular Jordan lows, even the Jordan highs, that leather pad was designed specifically. The reason why you see these curves in here is for the structure of the foot. So you notice that there's a deep curve in here. That's because that's where most people, your toes are sitting here. And most people, when you bend this shoe, not that I'm going to bend it, this is likely where the crease is going to happen. So that's why you see it low. If it was high and you try to bend your foot in a high leather pad, it's just, it wouldn't feel right. So that was the idea of designing it with that low cut. The high cut, and trust me, you put a high cut on, a high cut leather pad on versus a low cut leather pad and really play basketball. I'm not talking about casual walking. I'm talking about really play basketball. You're going to feel the difference. And that's basically what they did with the IE lows. Now, again, the design, I think, is throwing people a lot of people off. I feel as though if this, like if you just take this if you take this, the shape of this design, and I get that you're trying to create ventilation, but you could have accomplished that without putting that overlay leather pad on the mudguard. If that was more so open like this mesh, right, you took that mesh and continue on down. And actually, I'm curious to see how the shoe would look without that mudguard and the shapes that it's in. But again, I get what Jordan's looking for. You're looking for something engineering. You're looking for some type of breathability. You want to present the fact that I can see not just inside the shoe, but I can see on the other side. Literally, if I take a light source and flash a light right through here, you could probably see the light going right through. Let's see if I can, maybe I can see it. But, hey, who's to say? Now, let's do the whole super zoom, because I'm curious to see how all of this looks from the tongue. Of course, you got the Concord Jordan tongue, but again, you'll see that super zoom version of the tags and everything that's inside, and then I'll start actually removing that. Make sure when you remove your insoles come or should come not your structure tree, what do you call it, the tree something, tree, you get what I'm saying. It'll come to me probably right after this video too, no lie. But make sure it's wrapped up, the shoe tree, there we go. Make sure it's wrapped up in paper and it's not coming in this, because if it doesn't come like this and it's coming like this, but again, you'll know that from the QR code. And yes, there is a QR code that I kind of confirmed on the back of the shoe. But again, you'll see this on a super close. You'll see, I just lose my voice. I think I just lost my voice. You'll see this on the super zoom version where the QR code is behind the tongue of the shoe. So let's look at the super close macro version of the shoe. I'm going to cut the video off and transition over. See you there. Okay, YouTube, let's get into this super zoom so you can see what I'm talking about. Now, here's a super zoom. You can see, like I said, the laces aren't that big like the standard Jordan 11, but you can see right here, there goes my finger right through that first vent. Now you're not going to see the back vent, you're not going to see that so clearly, just because that's where the padding starts. So you have the mud guard, you got the leather pad, but you can see that's what I was talking about, like, and particularly right here. You can see right inside there. You can see inside the shoe, right? So if we go, get this out your way. We go on the towards the toe box. You can see that this is all see-through. You can see right through these vents. Here's a soft leather toe box right here. So that's pretty cool. But this is what I was talking about in terms of the QR code. So we're going to move towards the inside. You can see like that is really close. That is super cool. But anyway, this is what I'm talking about, the QR code. So let's just get in on that. And you can see right there, probably crystal clear. Size 12.5, but that's the QR code right there. The whole idea is once you scan this with a normal QR application, you'll see the Nike website pop up, but that's the digital marking that I was talking about. You might be able to see the website information on here. There you go, right at the bottom. So let me just pull that up where it says right there, Nike.com patents virtual marking. If you go there, you can see all the patents that they have for the newer shoes that have this digital marking on it. So that's the inside of this shoe. Taking a look inside here, you can see that it does have that Jumpman Jordan logo in here, but you can see that the cotton portion of this, bring this back, it's not that bad. It's pretty good. I like it. It's just not to a lot of people's appeal, in particular this portion, like the mud guard. I think if this was leather pad around here versus just here, it might be a different story. It might sell out, but you can flip this around to the bottom. Of course, you already know that whole carbon fiber right there. If you've never seen it up close, that's what it looks like up close and personal. That's pretty cool. And there goes those Concord purple pods that's on the bottom. You can see that this is obviously dead stock. You can still see the icy blue bottoms on the bottom of the shoe. Again, and for those that are just wondering who may or may not have seen this before, right underneath the rubber bottoms, you can see the Jumpman Jordan logo right there on the bottom of the shoe. This is the bottom of the shoe. But I know people may or may not have seen it. I don't know. If you haven't seen it magnified like that, that's kind of what it looks like. And it doesn't feature a Jumpman Jordan on the heel, but it's on the tongue. So, check your pairs. Make sure, it looks like something similar to this. I didn't really see any glue stains. That's what I was kind of looking for on the midsole. But outside, for some reason on Jordan lows, you always see like this little thing sticking up. Now, I can't figure out why, but maybe that's the machine that this thing is coming off. But you can see the ridge design right there. Yeah, I didn't really see any glue stains per se. Outside of the normal patching that you would normally see on most shoes to put layers together. I think that this was well crafted. There it goes again. I don't know what. Can somebody tell me what this is? But anyway, outside of the normal padding, getting back on here, I think that it's not a bad shoe. It's just, again, it's not everybody's cup of tea. The glue stain, I thought that this was mass produced, and maybe it was. But from what I see, it doesn't look like it was too hard to put together. But it doesn't look like it was messy. It looked like it was actually done, crafted very well. Because I've seen, I guess actually we'll see the Jordan 11 breads when they come out. But I mean, outside of the details of this shoe, the Superzoom, I think that this is might be a keeper for some people. You never know. It's just, again, it's meant to be a summer shoe. It's not really meant to be that exclusive Concord 11 that we're accustomed to seeing. So, hey, with that said and done, it's time to put these on feet and see.
Perfect.